As we're starting to lay down, let some good deep breaths flow through your system. Really nice inhales. Nice relaxing exhales. As we're taking deep breaths, what I'm going to do is help guide us through a body scan. We'll start at the feet and we'll work our way up to the head. Part of our goal is to try to check in with how all the different parts are doing. And also, as we take a breath and a pause at each point, just send a thought of relaxation to that area, a thought of love, a thought of helping it to not be quite so tight. So starting off with our feet, our ankles, calves, knees, thighs, hips, abdominal area, chest area, thoracic, shoulders, upper arm and elbow, lower arm, wrist, palms, neck, jaw, all of those little tiny muscles across the face. All of it's relaxed, all of it's feeling good. So as our breath continues to flow for just a moment, the intention that we're working on today is helping this whole system out by working on mobility. So mobility tends to get lost when we lose our range of motion in the joints or things start to fuse together. So that loss of range of motion impedes us from a lot of activities. It impedes us from being able to twist to look over our shoulder in a car. It impedes us from being able to walk upstairs comfortably. So overall today, as we're working on mobility, working joints with movement, and then pausing with flexibility through the major muscle groups, just imagine we're helping to just loosen up and free up the whole body so the whole system feels just a little bit better leaving than it did when we came. So that's the idea that will lead us on. With that to carry us forward, let's start to take the knees into the chest. With the legs, with one in each hand, start to take easy rocking motions. So this could be left and right, or other motions that just feel nice. And feel how very slowly as we take this, we're helping to ease up the low back, ease up the hips, and I'm increasing the mobility through those areas. So from here, a nice overall movement activity we're going to do. With a nice exhale, we curl our forehead into the knees. And then with an inhale, arms and legs stretch away from one another. The next exhale takes us right back into that tight little ball. And then for the stretch, a little hint, the higher up the toes go, the easier it is for the core, depending on how much you want to include effort today. Lower toward ground makes it harder, so you choose. Keep breathing with this. Let's take another 3. And 2. And 1. Good. Bending the right knee, hands clasp around that knee. Left leg goes straight up to the sky. Feel the muscle trying to straighten the joint out. And then 3 times working through those hip flexor muscles. We lower the heel all the way down toward the ground and lift it right back up. Take that twice more, lowering down. Lift it back up. And 1. As it lowers down this time, just let it settle down onto the ground. Try to really ground that foot down in the entire leg, so a little bit of energy on that left side. And then with hands around this right knee, try to pull it in as close as it wants to go. And 3 times we're going to pass this knee back and forth between the right hand, opening the knee out wide to the right. And then up to the left hand, a partial twist across the body. Feel how this is easing some mobility into the hip. So open back up 2. And across. Last one. As you cross over the body this time, stay in the twist just a little bit longer. Your goal is to help the spine have mobility in a good way. So you choose exactly how far the twist is going. You choose exactly where to pause. This all is in relation to how it feels across our spine. Spine is an interesting place to work on that mobility because until you have fused vertebrae or a rod going up part of your spine, you don't realize how much you appreciate that, the ability to twist. And if you don't use the twisting, you start to lose it. So here we're trying to maintain that good rotation. Good. 2 more breaths right here. We'll start to ease the hip down to the ground, right foot on the earth, slide the foot long. Once it's there, round that side. Left knee comes in, give it a nice little hug. And 3 times, that right leg lifts right back up to sky and drops down. 2 for the lift. 1. As it touches down this time, let it settle into the earth and stay, a little bit of energy. And we're pulling this left knee in nice and tight. Start to do that rotation and opening your hips. So left hand takes the left knee wide. Lifting it back up, cross it partway over the body. You choose how deep in the twist you go for these 3 times. Opening up for 2. And eventually onto the last one. With this one, we stay in the twist. You choose how deep to take it. Notice the breath easing you in and out like a gentle rocking motion. When you finish this next exhale, you'll ease the hip back out, drop the left leg to the ground, and arms stretch up overhead so we're posing. Get the legs to one direction, arms up to the other direction. Feel the body, the ribs, a lot of these back muscles getting pulled nice and long. And this time when the knees start to come into the chest, we're taking it to a nice happy baby. Listen to your body and what feels tight here. If it's hips and back, you might just want to rock left and right. If it's more like the hamstrings, maybe you tilt clear to one side and let the other leg straighten up to the sky. Then alternate. Just feel yourself breathing and connecting with these areas. Gradually helping them out. Whatever you're doing, take 2 more beautiful breaths. As we feel ready to start releasing, we're going to work our way up toward a seated place. Taking cobbler's pose, bottoms of both feet together. Just have the spine have a nice chance to start easing forward. Let's be here for 3 more breaths, noticing how each breath can be used to help deepen the experience. That third breath, lift up enough that the right leg can start looking out wide to the right. Once that's there, plant the right hand in front of the right leg. The left shoulder peels back just a little bit so the shoulders are stacked so that that left hand can reach up and over, easing through side ribs and shoulder. Help those areas be a little bit more mobile here. Sometimes it's almost like the ribs don't go to their full expression until we take a chance to sit here and stretch into them. So then dropping that left hand directly down to the floor, slide the hands forward. To help ease through the mobility of the back and the hips and legs, we're going to gently rock ourselves back and forth between this forward position and then rocking toward where that straight leg is. So ease it back and forth. It doesn't have to be a fast pace unless you want it to be. Let's give it a few good cycles. Remember, your next headed toward that straight leg. Pause for a few extra breaths. Notice how kind of like before, this left shoulder wants to be a little bit more lifted than the right. See if you can pull that left shoulder down. The shoulders are a little bit more squared to the ground. Good. So easing back up, let's switch the legs out. Up the left leg, opening up to the side. So we're there, left hand plants on the floor in front of left leg. Tilt that right shoulder back to stretch right arm up and over. So how the breath helps to expand more space in that rib cage area. And when right hand drops down, lean directly forward. That rocking motion back and forth between here and the straight leg. Next time you're heading toward the straight leg, go ahead and pause to that angle. Trying to get the right shoulder to pull down just a little bit. So how it's almost like a slight twist. It opens the back muscles just a little bit more. So starting to slide up from here, the legs come into an easy cross-leg shape. Working through some lateral movement just a little bit more. We'll go back and forth between using our inhale to be upright right in the center, and then exhale, planting a hand down, lean up and over, trying not to lift up the hips. So it's the whole inhale that takes us up. Then that slow, long exhale tilting us to the other side. So alternating back and forth. Because the hips are grounded, it's all space being brought right up along the vertebrae. So let's do 2 more to each. Notice how the body has a tendency to want to go fast. See if you can slow down the breath just a little bit more. Last half here. Good, and heading up, we work on the spine a little bit more through cat-cow. So swing the knees underneath. Start to let the spine alternate between rounding up to sky. And belly drops down. Let the head be part of it. Spine goes up, head drops down, belly's down, head goes up. Move with the breath, about 3 more rounds. Back for a nice neutral spine. We'll start to straighten our right leg back behind us. Sometimes that's where to pause. If left arm, so opposite, reach forward, that's that next place. Feel how there's a little bit of core alignment involved to get there. This balance is pretty precarious, just stay. Otherwise, you're welcome to do 5 cycles where we take elbow and knee together underneath. Inhale, straighten right back out. 4, 3, 2, 1. When the hand drops to the floor, the leg crosses off the mat to the left side. We gaze over our left shoulder at the foot, and that pushes our hips to the right. So it creates extra space across hips and IT band area. That feels great. Don't you love this one? Good. Let's start to drop that knee down. We'll switch sides. The left leg goes back. Right arm starts to stretch forward if you can. Again, this might be it, or 5 cycles. Exhale and inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hand drops down, foot crosses all the way over to the right side. Push hips to the left and gaze up your right shoulder. Easing out, lower the knee down. And 3 times we're going to take either a mini flow or a full flow. So the first one will be a nice mini flow. Walk your heads forward toward a nice healing plank. Lower belly to the earth. Take an easy little back bend, doesn't have to be a full cobra. And a nice child's pose. So either 2 more mini flows like that, or if you want to take full flow, it would be full plank, lowering down, up to cobra, and then down dog. So whatever you're doing, mini or full, 2 cycles. Last at your own pace. Up in child pose or down dog, your preference. With a few extra breaths. We'll start to make our way up to the top of the mat. We'll work into a nice forward fold when we get up there. Both legs get to lengthen together. Next inhale takes us up to rise. Little arch. Exhale, hands down to heart. So let's take a soft bend to the knees. Hands come behind the head. And we'll do 5 cycles like this. When we exhale, we close our elbows in. And then even up to stretch the back of it. Inhale, the elbows open out, the heart comes forward. Helping this part of mobility at the side. Exhale, 4. You can get to the mat. And open. 3. 2. And 1. Good, knees can straighten out a little bit. And we'll take a lateral lean. So with this one, we dip the right elbow down, feel that nice stretch, come back up, and left elbow down. Left. 4 more like that each side, nice and gentle. Moving to the last one on each. Finish that last half, circle up to the sky, a nice inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale a half lift to get up to a nice flat spine. And when the fingers drop back down, just the right foot slides to back of mat. Lower the right knee down to ground. Make sure when you sink the hips forward, knee doesn't go past toes. If so, toes scoot forward a bit. Then 3 times we go like this. Alternate slowly back and forth between a low lunge going forward and a half split. So shifting the hips over the back knee, front leg straightens. Sometimes you have to shift the heel a little further forward for the first one. 2 more nice and slow like that. Gaze forward. Half split. It's like we're lubricating the joint like that. 1 more round like that. And then when we go back forward, we'll pause for a few extra breaths. You can either pause with the hands down on the floor still, or if anybody wants to work hands up to thigh or sky, you're welcome to take those options as well. Whatever feels best, but keep the hips forward. Good. Give this spot 1 more good inhale. Exhale. Work to the half split again. Just hold that spot for a few bonus breaths. Beautiful. This knee starts to slide back. We walk our hands forward, plank or kneeling plank. We can take the mini flow from the knees or the full flow up to down dog. So it's your choice if you end up in the down dog or the child pose. Whether we're kneeling or up high lifted, let's begin to slide our right foot forward. Back hands up, lower down. Make sure the foot's far enough forward. We take our 3 gentle cycles, sink forward. And slowly melts back. Ready to 2. And 1. Good. When we sink back forward, we pause. Maybe hands on floor, thigh, or sky. Inhale. So release hands down, shift the legs straight. A few good breaths right there. Beautiful inhale. Exhale. And this leg falls back again. Maybe take the mini flow or the full flow, your choice. In the spot of lift and flexibility. 2 more breaths. Eventually, walking our feet back up to top of mat. Good inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Extend the heart. From here, hands back behind the head. And this one's about rotation, but try to keep the hips forward. Hips could try to go with us. Instead, try to make it mostly about the vertebrae. So inhale is through the center. Exhale is when we twist to one side. Pull back to the center. Pull the twist. Feel how not taking the hips with us makes it a bit more about the obliques. Take 3 more each. Two. Last one. Good. Releasing the hands. Step the feet about as wide as that, toes forward. Start to slide the hands down the thighs. We might end up keeping hands on thighs, but you can test out if it's easy enough to reach for floor. From here, we'll take a couple of rounds, sitting the hips back, flatten the spine forward. And straighten the legs, try to tilt the spine down to that forward fold. Another 4. 3. 2. 1. As you straighten the legs on this last one, you could leave hands on floor. Try to make sure your neck is nice and loose, just stay laid down. If you prefer, hands can clasp together and place pinky fingers at the base of the skull just to help bring that neck into a slight upward curve. Good. Dropping hands down, the right foot slides to the back of the mat, lower that knee down. The left toes turn a little bit to the left, but you're keeping the foot flexed. So as I push the knee open, I'm not working through this ankle mobility. I'm keeping it flexed so it's all solid in its hip mobility. So I take my left hand on that knee, and 3 times I gently push it. The knee as far open as it'll go. Release it back up to that stacked position. Pushing up for 2. And bring it back in. This last time, stay just a little bit longer. Either stay on that push spot or continue to rotate to the side, push the hand to the back wall. Good. 1 more inhale. Exhale. Rotate forward, planting hands. Make sure hips are still sinking forward. Either stay on wrist or maybe lower to elbows. Good. So we're gonna travel back into an elbow plank. So if elbows are feeling pretty good, you can just simply slide the foot back. You could also come up and then back down with the hand even. End up kind of in an elbow plank position. And 3 times we go back and forth between lifting the hips back and up as far as you can, and then shifting the head as far forward as you can. Take that 2. And head, hips, and head. Good. Drop the knees down. Mini flow or full flow, your choice. For child pose or down dog, take a breath or two. Step that right foot up to the outside of right hand. Forward. Turn the toes a little bit to the right. Keep the foot flexed. This shape, we've got the right hand up on the knee. Push it open for 3. Feel that hip rotate. And return back to step 2. One more. Stay. Either keep the hand where it is or reach the hand to the back wall for a little spinal twist. Good. Drop hands in front. Stay or lower to elbows. So in the transition toward elbow plank, if you need to come up to hands and then drop back down, that's fine. Or just slide the leg back. That's not elbow plank. And then we go back and forth, hips lifting high, and head rocking forward. 2. Forward. 1. So drop the hips down, Sphinx. Release the hands. Right knee slides to the side up nice and high. So that gentle opening for hips and low back. Slide that knee back. Left comes up. Slide the knee back. One more breath in Sphinx. Slide hands underneath us. Pressing up to downward facing dog. Walking back up to top of that one last time. In the forward fold, take a nice inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Back to heart. Shift your weight onto left foot. The right knee is going to rotate open to tree pose. So this could be kickstand, still on the floor a little bit. Could be up to calf or up to thigh maybe. Think of the knee trying to open as much as possible. And if just the balance is precarious, don't worry about anything else. But if you're doing okay with balance, open the arms out left and right without moving hips at all. Let the torso try to rotate a little bit. Walk forward. A little bit to the right. And forward. Step the leg back to warrior 1. Drop the left hand down to the back leg, just a little bit of support. Then we will lean that top leg up and over, body reaching over to left. Good. Back up, inhale. Exhale, open up warrior 2. Just 2 times back and forth to an extended side angle. Drop the front elbow down, reach the top arm up and over. Then, rising up. Back to the back leg, lean back. Just one more like that each. We finished the last one. Toes turn open on the long side of the mat, 45-degree angles for goddess pose. 3 times we sink the hips as low as we can and straighten the legs all the way up. Take it for 2. And 1. As we lower the knees back to bend, hands come to inner thighs to help press the thighs open as we lean forward just a little. Good. Straighten the legs up. The back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. The front toes turn forward. Open the arms. Triangle pose. Left hand reaches forward to drop down to shin. Right hand reaches up to sky. Rising up. We turn forward as we step onto the front foot, balance the right. As right foot goes down, right away we switch to tree. Left rotates open. Try to get that hip to open up as much as possible. Maybe it climbs a bit higher, but you don't have to. Sometimes staying forward is all this foot can do, that's okay. If you're taking a slight twist, remember hips don't go with us at all. A little bit to the right. Forward. A little bit to the left. Forward. Step back, warrior 1. Right hand on the back leg. Lean to the right. Back up, inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. 2 cycles, extended side angle. And reverse. Good, and feet back up. One more chance with that goddess. Turn the toes open to the 45. And bend the knees. Good, straight back up. 2. 1. And pressing the thighs open. Good. Straightening the leg. Left foot comes to parallel to the back of the mat. Right foot toes turns forward. Open the arms. Right hand reaches forward to drop to shin. Left hand up to sky. Up. Shift weight on the front foot and balance the other knee. And we're down. Good. Let's do our last flow back. It can be a mini or a full. Let's look up to sky. So I'll drop down. And come back lift. Exhale when we get the hands planted. Travel back until you see foot full plank. Down. Nice little back bend. Child or down dog. Just one last time today. Let's make it down to a seated position. We'll cross the right shin in front of the left. Turn the torso toward your right thigh and walk the hands down that right thigh direction. Good. Easing back up. Place the left hand on the left knee, the right hand behind you. And what we're going to do 3 times is go back and forth between pushing that left hand into the knee to help rotate into the twist, and a gentle release out of the push. 2, push again, and release. 1 more. Rotate. Release all the way forward. Cradle this right leg out. And grab it foot and knee, or sometimes slide a little bit deeper into the elbows. Rock that hip out a couple of times. Here, the other knee rotates up so we can drop the ankle to thigh. Hands tucked behind us. We try just for a breath or 2 to lift the hips up. Rotate the knee open. Good. Lowering hips back down, your choice. Here you can just lean back. You can push against the knee. You can hug against the legs. Or even just keep a rocking position. Just rocking that super open to the side. Across. It's whatever feels best for the mobility of the hip right now. Whatever you're doing, take 1 more good breath in. Out. And back up to sit. This time left leg is crossed in front. Twist to left thigh and then slide toward that direction. Back up, right hand is on right knee, left hand is behind. 3 times push the hand into the knee to twist. And release. 2. And 1. Good. Cradle left leg. Couple of rocks. Straighten me up so you can drop ankle high. Try just that breath or 2, try to lift hips up. When you're ready to drop down, a couple of breaths, maybe holding, pushing, rocking, hugging. Lots of options here. One more breath wherever you're at. On our release, let's roll our way down onto our back. We're pressing our right thigh really tightly over left. Spreading the arms open. Let the knees take a moment to fall all the way over to the left. Find a little spinal twist for us. Good. Back up. Drop the right foot to the ground. Left foot cross over. And start to tilt all the way to the right. You ease out of that one. Release, find the legs in a comfortable Shavasana, whatever that is. Maybe knees open, maybe knees up, the legs long. If there's ever any last stretches you need, always know that that's okay to take those. 5 or 6 breaths, could be a minute or two, whatever amount of time helps you feel completely relaxed on the ground. Whenever you're comfortably settled, sooner or later, our thought is kind of like how we started class, to do a body scan. So you have a chance to check in with all parts of the body now, especially check in with joints, check in with muscles, seeing if they feel a little bit more mobile than when you first arrived. More than anything though, let the breath really be the guide, guiding us into relaxation. Here, let's do our inhales. Our exhales. Introducing little movements back to knees and toes, ankles and wrists. starting to stretch out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Like a fetal position, you can head to that. Just enjoying a chance to be here with your body for a few more good, beautiful breaths. Up when your body feels happy and complete here. Return back to presence in this moment. So here as we wrap up with hands at the heart, we recognize that movement is life. As soon as we stop moving, we start losing the ability to move. Yet with movement, we feel so good. It's like our body just feels a little bit better, a little bit more loose and limber from our class today. So with this idea of movement to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time that we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.